The 2008 March for Babies at Coastal Carolina University will be held this Saturday, and it's humming along. Meet the March of Dimes Executive Director, coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Holiday Inn West on the Waterway near the newly opened Hard Rock Park. We're focused on the March for Babies, which will be held this Saturday, and we're visiting with Crystal Hummer, the director of the PD division of the March of Dimes. Good morning, Crystal.
Morning.
And thanks so much for coming in.
Thank
right
you
here
for
at
having me.
the last big push, 3 days away.
3 days.
You getting nervous or you're feeling great?
I'm really excited.
Are you?
Really
yeah.
excited.
This
yes.
is your first walk as the director, the first Horry County walk as the
Yes.
director of the PD division of the March of Dimes.
That's correct.
A big deal in and of itself.
It is a big deal.
Yeah.
It is.
We're expecting a big turnout this Saturday.
Yes, we are. We have lots of teams, lots of individuals that are planning on attending the event.
And it is rain or shine.
Rain
Folks
or
need
shine.
to know, rain or shine.
Yes.
No matter what.
No matter what. Well, obviously, if it was, lightning, we would have to
yes.
consider, but
Right, yeah. We don't even want to talk about
we
a
don't
rain
want to talk
date.
about it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a beautiful day.
That's right.
Absolutely.
A lot of funds. The big goal this year is
$365,000.
wow. That's
Yes.
almost as close to $500,000. Is it closer to $500,000 than
Yes.
than $250,000?
Yes.
It's very dang
real
close.
close.
Yeah.
Real close.
That is amazing.
Yes.
Wow. What has prompted big goals like this? Of course, Horry County, for the last many years, you've had 2 walks in Horry County, and this year you have just 1 walk in
That's
Horry
correct.
County. Right.
In the past, Loris has had its own walk, and this year we've decided to combine the 2 walks.
Right, sure.
To have one big Horry County walk. And last year, our goal was $290,000, and we exceeded it.
Wow.
We reached $320,000, and
Is that right?
As you know, the goals don't go down; they go up, and for a very good reason. It's for babies, and we have to push to reach that goal, and I feel confident we will reach it.
Get down, Crystal.
Yeah.
I like hearing that. Of course, you highlighted something this morning that I hadn't thought about, which is online fundraising
Yes.
can occur even beyond the walk because, of course, you'll take dollars, apply them towards the walk to keep not only hitting that goal but exceeding that goal.
That's correct. All dollars brought in for the Horry County Walk through the end of the year will be applied
Great.
to the 2008 Horry County Walk. So if someone has decided at the last minute that they want to fundraise,
Right.
money can be turned in afterwards.
Okay, or even right now.
Or right now, if someone can't make it to bank day, which I'm sure we'll talk about,
Right.
We'll make arrangements to pick it up, or they can drop it off at the office.
Okay, if a viewer needs to get off to work now or get family off to school, Crystal, what is the best way to reach you or to learn more about the walk? Are there a couple of different avenues there?
For the viewing audience that would like to get involved, they can call 488-3463
Okay.
or go online to www.marchforbabies.org.
Okay, marchforbabies.org. Real
Yes.
easy. And, of course, that's either for hooking up with their existing team, for forming a new team, or
That's
just
right.
getting great facts,
That's right.
information, frequently asked questions about the March for Babies. One of the big things
Absolutely.
is, of course, for years it's been Walk America. What prompted the big change over to March for Babies?
Well, the organization looked at different ways to get our name out there,
Right.
and I think that some people were confused as to what Walk America was.
Okay.
Who does Walk America belong to?
Right.
And I think with the name change to March for Babies, people
Right.
can clearly identify with us and understand what we're about, and that we're marching for all babies.
Yes, that's a very good point. And marching for all babies.
That's right.
That's exactly right.
Yes.
Marching for all babies. 843-488-3463.
That's correct.
Of course, oftentimes you'll have viewers even in other parts of our viewing area
Mm-hmm.
that'll come out there to be at the Horry County Walk. One of the big thrills, of course, is your new home. Last year was the first year of the walk at
Coastal Carolina.
very nice. Coastal
Yeah.
Carolina University. Of course, just later this week, I think on Friday, we've got a couple of folks from Coastal.
Yes, we do. We have Coach Bennett, David Bennett, who is the honorary chairman of our event, and Matt Hogue, who's the Associate Athletic Director at Coastal Carolina, and his family is the Ambassador family. He had a daughter born with a birth defect.
Okay, yes, absolutely. Well, we'll hear more from Matt Hogan, Coach Bennett on Friday, and even tomorrow we've got a couple of other folks not directly associated with Coastal, but folks that'll have big teams out at Coastal Carolina
That's
this
correct.
Saturday.
Yes. We have Karen Goss, who's the team leader for Lakewood Elementary, and Wendy McWirt, who's the team leader for PD Elementary.
Okay.
And both of those schools have done an amazing job with their fundraising for babies.
And schools really get out there and make it
Yes,
happen
they
for
do.
the Horry County Walk,
Yes.
for the Georgetown Walk, for all your walks within the PD division. And
Yes,
it's
they
more
do.
than just these couple of walks. You've got a lot of walks year round.
We do. We have Georgetown this weekend. We have Dillon. We also have Lake City, which is May the 10th.
Right.
So
yes.
if you're looking for a walk to attend and you're not in the Horry County area, once
Right.
again, just go online, marchforbabies.org, and find out what the closest walk to you
Sure.
is, or you can call our office, 488-3463.
That's great. Yeah, plugging in your zip code. I saw that early this morning trying to get ready for your interview. You can just plug in your zip code and find the
That's
walk
correct.
closest to you. But of course, just picking up the phone to give a call to your office. Y'all are very responsive. Even if they called now and you're sitting here, someone will still give a call back. Return
Absolutely.
the call, let you know
Absolutely.
the place. A lot of folks also just send in checks, other than we want to highlight online fundraising and
That's
how
correct.
easy that is, but oftentimes they'll just send them in. Do they send them into your office in Conway?
Yes, they can, and that address is 314 Laurel Street, Suite 201, Conway 29526.
Okay, 314 Laurel Street,
Yes,
Suite.
201.
Okay, 201 in Conway, 29526. That's great. Absolutely. Well, you know, it's so exciting, Crystal. There's a lot of different things that have to happen leading up to a walk. Folks, as you highlighted, can still form a team right now. They don't
Absolutely.
they don't even have to do it online. If they don't have internet access, they can call your office and still either you could fax them some information I think you
That's
shared
correct.
on how to set up a team, or they can just set it up on their own.
That's right. We have lots of information that we can provide, information about the March of Dimes. A lot of people are uncomfortable asking others for money. We have lots of information as far as emails, telephone, templates that people can use just to help them be a little more at ease when they're asking people for money.
Yes.
And in those templates, it explains what the March of Dimes is about. So when they're asking, they can let people know why they're asking and why they're raising money.
Absolutely. Very important. You know, I was fascinated seeing much of the information you provide some of the team captains recently at one of your team captains meetings over there at East Chicago Pizza, and to see how so much information is provided for 12 weeks out, 6 weeks out, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then this week leading right up to it.
That's right.
But as you highlighted early this morning, folks can, even if they're just finding out about it now, and can make those dollars count even between now and the end of the year.
That's correct.
Not the fiscal year necessarily, but the end of the calendar year.
Yes, that's
which is
correct.
tremendous.
Yes, and as I said, those dollars will be applied to this event.
That is wonderful, Crystal.
And,
yeah.
and we're hoping that we will reach that goal, $365,000. But as I said, we want to exceed it. You know,
Oh, yeah.
those are dollars that are going for babies.
You'll also have a big day tomorrow, am I correct, at
Yes.
Wachovia Bank?
Yes, we have Bank Day tomorrow.
Okay.
And that is a day that our teams and individuals can bring in dollars that they've collected. It's a safe and secure location, and that's why we have a bank day. It's a central point that everyone can come to.
Right.
And at the end of the day, we have a good idea as to where we stand
Good.
toward reaching that goal.
Absolutely. Well, obviously you feel good now. A lot
I
of
do.
teams must have been contacting you
Yes.
to give you an
Yes.
idea of where they stand, but they can show up there on the corner, and I'm sure all your team captains know, but even folks who are finding out about it today, raising funds today, don't want to be carrying those funds to Coastal Carolina University
Absolutely.
on Saturday at the 9 a.m. registration, so they can come over to Wachovia Bank right in the heart of Myrtle Beach. Is it on the corner of 21st and Oak Street?
Yes, it is.
Okay, real
Yes, it
easy to
is.
find between, I think you said 10 and 5.
That's correct. That's
Drop
correct.
off
And if
that money.
folks just want to come by and make a donation, please feel free to do so.
Absolutely. Great point. If they want to meet and learn some more, what a great opportunity.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow. Will you be out there tomorrow, Crystal?
Yes, I will.
Okay,
All
great.
day with
And
some
watch-
great volunteers.
Yes, and it really is. So much of this, Crystal, is driven by volunteers. You've got a pretty small office here in the PD
Yes,
division.
we do. There's 2 of us in our office.
Is that right? Serving
Yes.
how many counties?
6 counties.
That's
And we
insane.
have 8 events a year, 4 in the spring and 4 in the fall.
You mean 8 walk events?
No, we have
Oh,
6 walk events.
6 walk events,
And
great.
2 other
You
special
have
events.
the community servant, I believe,
As well as the chef's
as
auction.
well as the chef's auction.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, Crystal, I don't know how you and Colleen do it all.
Well, great volunteers.
Yes, that's right. Driving home that point
Yes.
about volunteers is critical. And of course, any of the folks that help lay out a team or are available on bank days aren't necessarily team leaders or even team members, but folks that just
right.
year after year are there to help you collect potentially $365,000
Yes.
or even more,
Yes.
and make sure those dollars are clearly laid out. A lot has to happen. Where will those dollars go, Crystal?
The dollars that we raise goes toward community grants, research, education, and advocacy.
Okay.
And just to break that down a little bit, we do research at a statewide level as well as the national level.
Right.
Community grants, we highly push our community grants. We want those dollars to come back to Horry County. So if
Okay.
someone is out there and they're trying to get a grant to educate mothers or for health care, please call our office and we can
Okay.
try to get you we will get you the information
Wow.
for community grants. We have 3 community grants locally, and the state of South Carolina gives out $630,000 worth of community
Is
grants
that
each
right?
year.
Wow,
Yes.
that's tremendous.
And we also provide educational materials to mothers, to physician offices, to hospitals.
Right.
We have NICU family support. The March of Dimes does a lot of wonderful things with the money that is raised, and I want to just let everyone know that 93 cents of every dollar raised goes to our mission.
Is that right?
Yes, it is.
93 cents
Yes.
of every dollar raised
In the
here
state
in
of South Carolina,
and
yes.
Obviously different percentages around the country, but South Carolina is one of the most aggressive.
Yes, it is.
Y'all run a very lean organization.
We do, and
That
we're
is
very proud of that.
That is tremendous, Crystal. So folks can know that obviously there needs to be some support staff, some actual folks in the office, and you all surely need to be paid for what you do. But at the same time, as you highlight, with so many great volunteers, you can plow 93 cents of every dollar back into research, into education, and clearly into, as you said, community grants and other vehicles. That is wonderful.
It is wonderful.
Those 3 that you mentioned in our area, are those ones that viewers may have heard about? Do you mind sharing that, or am I putting you on the spot? Obviously, our real focus is the March for Babies this Saturday.
We have 3 in the PD area,
Okay.
but there's one specifically in Horry County that I would like to mention.
Yeah, please.
Outreach of Horry County received a grant. It's a first-year grant, and it's actually to educate African American women about SIDS, because
Right.
there's been such an increase in SIDS, which is sudden infant death syndrome,
Right.
over the last few years. So the outreach applied for the grant, and they got it.
That's great.
So we were very, very excited about that.
The other 2 are in the PD region,
Yes,
surely
yes.
in our viewing area, which is wonderful, and that's critical to think about. And hopefully folks can learn more about that. As you said, it's just as easy as picking up the phone and dialing 488-3463, or as you also highlighted, marchforbabies.org is one site, but marchofdimes.com has got a tremendous
Yes.
website, a
Yes.
lot of great information.
Endless amounts of information.
Right.
A lot of good information. And anyone watching, I would highly recommend going on the website and just learning a little bit more about what we do. I think a lot of people would be amazed at how much we do, and that they probably have been touched in some way by the March of Dimes and do not even realize it.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things that it highlighted, the March of Dimes has touched your life if there were a couple of bullet points here. Your baby received a vaccine to prevent polio.
Yes.
How many babies come out and don't receive that vaccine? If it happens at all, I'm not aware of it. Your baby received critical newborn screening to check for potentially dangerous but vulnerable conditions. And it's critical to think about that. How many babies didn't get that? Clearly they did.
Absolutely.
That's where things are going, and the March of Dimes had some impact in that.
Yes, they did.
Very critical impact.
Also surfactant therapy.
Right.
Lots of babies that are born not necessarily very premature, which, you know, a baby could be born just a couple weeks premature and their lungs are not fully developed,
Right.
and most of them receive that surfactant therapy.
Oh, yeah.
Also, just babies that are born healthy in general. The March of Dimes has done so much toward medicine, and it does allow so many more babies to be born healthy, but we still have a long ways to go.
Absolutely. Speaking of babies and births, of course you highlighted that Coach David Bennett will be with us on Friday,
Yes.
but Matt Hogue, who is one of the two parents there in the Ambassador family, he and
Yes.
his wife and two daughters. Obviously the real focus on one of their daughters, Caroline, and
Yes.
Rachel has been along to help her little sister out, but share with us the significance, and of course the Chisholms there, the significance of the two Ambassador families and what they do. How are they involved in the walk? Do they help kick off the walk, or what is their role?
We have several events.
The march, excuse
Yes,
me, the
that's-
march, yes.
We have several events leading up to the March for Babies event. We have a kickoff, a team captain's appreciation luncheon, a rally, and we ask that our ambassador families are there
Yes.
to tell their story. It gets our team captains motivated.
Right.
And we just ask them to be the face of the March of Dimes.
Right.
Not, you know, now that they're serving as the ambassador families for this event, they will always be a part of the March of Dimes
Sure.
family. And, you know, will probably do things for us in the future, but for this event, they serve as the March for Babies face.
The face of the March
Yes,
for Babies,
and they
absolutely.
get their story out and help people understand what they've been through and how the March of Dimes has helped them.
Each of those families, of course, Caroline having serious issues as related to surgeries,
Yes.
not as much on the premature side, but as
That's
related
right.
to surgery and complications there at birth. And then, of course, the young man who was born, I think, 1 pound, was it 14 ounces?
Jabril Chisholm, yes.
Jabril Chisholm, that is incredible.
It is, and he's a active, healthy little boy.
Yes,
boy now.
we saw him at Easter Chicago
Yes,
Pizza. He was
he's
going
precious.
strong, moving
Yes.
around on his own. Just about a year and a half old, I believe. Yeah,
that's correct.
born in late '06. So
Yes.
tremendous to see that momentum and the impact the March of
amazing.
Dimes has had on all these families. You know, we think about, for folks who aren't even aware or hadn't been aware of this Saturday's march until right now, if they're coming out, what are some of the activities if they want to get out there and learn more about the event? I assume you want to get folks out no matter what.
Absolutely. The event itself is a celebration, and it's a day to celebrate all babies. We will have a 3-mile walk through the beautiful Coastal Carolina campus.
Right.
There's a kiddie corner, or a children's corner, and there'll be blow-ups and slides for the kids, activities, an obstacle course.
Great.
I think we're going to have face painting. Coach Bennett is going to host the punt, pass, and kick contest again this year, and from what I understand, that was very
the
popular.
punt, pass, and kick
Yes.
was hugely popular.
Yes.
Yes. Coach Bennett, very popular in and of himself. Yeah.
And lots of food.
Right.
So we all of our food is donated by a lot of
Is that
wonderful
right?
organizations.
Again, another great reason
Yes.
why so much money goes back
Absolutely.
to research and education.
We have a lot of wonderful people in this community that does donate food and everything. All of the children's activities are donated.
Oh, yeah.
We have so many people that volunteer their time to make this event a success.
Right.
And it is, like I said, because of volunteers and people who are willing to give.
Yes, Chris, we also have some great sponsors this year.
Yes,
Share with
we
viewers
do.
a little about some of your sponsors who really go above and beyond. Obviously, they not only oftentimes sponsor, but also put together teams, whether large companies or very small ones. I think I saw some relatively small companies that are big sponsors this year. Share with viewers a little bit about your local sponsors.
Wachovia is one of our sponsors.
Great.
They're a statewide sponsor
Good.
as well.
Absolutely.
Carolina First is also a statewide sponsor.
Great.
We have Grand Strand Golf Tour, who's a first-time sponsor.
I saw that. Yeah, that's tremendous.
And we have two businesses in Loris that are sponsors, Carolina Dental Care and Loris Health Care. And we're very
Great.
proud that with the two walks combining, that they have continued to serve as a sponsor for
Oh, yeah.
Horry County.
That
We're
is
very
wonderful.
excited about that.
Yep.
And most of those sponsors have teams as well.
Yes,
So,
yes. Even big and small, folks can have sizes. It's kind of like when you hear the phrase about a church is where a couple of folks are getting together and just lifting up the Lord. In the same way, a team can be as small as a couple or one person there, and as large as the Myrtle Beach Herald obviously has a very small team, but we'll have a good showing on Saturday. I think we'll see some Herald logos out there we're particularly excited about on Saturday. But to see the momentum there leading up, you can have very large teams that really get out. And also the schools, Crystal. The excitement there to see. I think the Horry County Walk has produced the top, surely the top in the state, but even some leaders in schools nationwide.
Yes, last year we had the #1 school in the state as well as the #5 school in the state.
Wow.
And the #1 school in the state was also #5 in the country.
Is that right?
Yes.
The #1 school in the state of South Carolina was #5 in the country. Do you mind sharing with viewers what school we're talking about?
Forest Brook Elementary is #1.
Forest Brook Elementary.
And PD Elementary is #5.
#5 in the state.
And that was last year, so
wow.
We'll see what happens this year.
That's
I know
right.
they've both been working very, very hard.
And Wendy will be with us tomorrow, of course.
Yes,
Linda
she
Puckett
will.
was with us last year when we were we did a week leading up to, at that time, Walk America, but a week there at Ripley's Aquarium, which was a tremendous week, and learned a lot about the walk. And of course, at this time, this great opportunity here, but Wendy McGurk will be with us on tomorrow from PD Elementary, as well as Lakewood and Karen's representation there. But there's so many tremendous teachers and administrators who really interface well with parents and make sure that the parents recognize that a lot of walks or marches, for instance, don't have school participation, but the March for Babies sure is a great opportunity to get schools involved.
It is, and I will have to say that the teachers and the faculty, they do an amazing job of educating the children, even elementary children. They may not understand a lot of the big technical terms, but they understand that what they're doing is raising money to help babies, and they definitely understand that.
Yes.
And I think that's very important, that they do understand why they're raising money. It's not that they're just going out and asking, can you give me some money? They can go out and say, can you give me money to help save babies?
That's powerful. Crystal, we just got a couple of minutes right now for viewers who may be hearing about the march for the first time. What are some things they can do? Of course, they can pick up the phone and call 488-3463 to get any more information. You may not be able to give them right now, but what are some things they can do in this last 74 hours before registration to try to drive up some dollars?
They can go out and ask their family and friends to please support them. Just let them know that they're going to walk. With that being said, folks do not have to attend the event to fundraise. So if someone just wants to help the organization and help babies, they can raise money without attending the walk.
Right.
But just go out and ask family and friends to please support them. Go online, send out emails to your family and friends asking for support.
Right.
If you don't ask, people won't give. But I think most of the time you'll be quite surprised at how many people are willing to give if you just get the courage up to ask.
Now, do folks have to have an online team at marchforbabies.org, their own team, to be able to send out emails, or can they just go ahead and send out emails?
They can send out emails, absolutely. They can go either on the website, or if someone's just is not interested, they can just email their family and friends and let them know what they're doing, and to please send them a check to support babies.
I saw a lot of the nudges provided by the March at Dimes highlighted. Give me a call, just call me, sending out emails, or even making calls to folks, leaving messages for them, and really driving home some of the simple messages there about a baby's cry. Coming out of the womb, and that first cry you hear from a healthy baby. So oftentimes, as you know, and your mission there in working on fighting for babies, the parent doesn't hear that healthy cry.
That's right.
They hear a very stinted or no cry at all at 28 weeks, or as we talked about Jamal there at 1 pound 14 ounces. Jabril, excuse me. I mean, that's a real issue there.
Yes, it is. It's a very big issue, but people can help.
Right. Any other things that folks could do, since you've highlighted they could go beyond the walk? Could they still do bake sales or blue jean days or otherwise?
Absolutely. We do have some teams that fundraise all year round.
Right.
And then they
I love it.
apply their money. They bring their money to bank day, but they've been raising money all year. So
Right.
we just encourage people, if you're interested, please, we need your support. Babies need your support.
Viewers need to be there at 9, or should they just show up at 10? Do they need to be there at 9?
They need to be there between 9 and 10.
Okay.
We will start the walk at 10 o'clock. We'll probably have a very short presentation before the walk. So
Okay.
you can get there around 9:30.
Right.
The earlier, the better.
And it's at Coastal Carolina University.
Yes.
Absolutely. And
Yes.
folks should wear what, Crystal?
Just whatever you're comfortable walking in.
Good. Okay.
And we hope
Great.
for a beautiful day. It's going to be a beautiful day.
It'll be a
I
beautiful
know.
day, rain or shine. We
That's
can't. We
right.
need to have Ed Piotrowski here with you to help guide that out.
Absolutely.
but,
He will be there that day.
Absolutely. He'll be out as well. That's
Yes.
wonderful. And what continues to drive you, Crystal? What's the biggest push for you?
I just love babies, and I know that one day we will reach that day when every baby is born healthy. And if you've ever been to a NICU and seen babies that do weigh a pound or a pound and a half, or babies that are laying there sick, it pulls at your heart. It's just, I love babies, and I think we all love babies,
That's great.
and we can all help.
Those are great words. I'm sorry we've run out of time. Thanks
Thank
so
you,
much for
Greg.
being with us this morning. Stay tuned to a little bit more of Crystal Hummer, the Executive Director of the PD Division of the March of Dimes, coming up next. A healthy baby is every parent's dream. A healthy baby is every parent's dream. Let's help give babies a healthy start, whether you're a parent or not. Focus on babies. This Saturday's the day, the March for Babies 2008, Horry County. Registration's at 9. The walk kicks off at 10. Brooks Stadium at Coastal Carolina University. If you got a question, pick up the phone 488-3463 or go online to marchforbabies.org. Crystal Hummer, thanks so much for being with
Thank
us this
you.
morning.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Big